Hi guys, how are you? This is Pano. Today I want to make a video about ammunition, and especially about ammunition about deer hunting. It's more for a beginner kind of video. It's not if you are into guns, what I'm gonna talk about, it's not too advanced. So if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to if you've been hunting and you understand and you have your favorite gun. Just this video is not for you. It's not intended for you. You could maybe pick up some of my preferences if you're interested, but it's not an advanced ammunition video. With that said, now I'm gonna be talking to the new hunters mostly. Okay, so in any animal you're willing to hunt. Today we're gonna just talk about deer, and I'm gonna make another video about black bear, about hunting, and another video about protection on campsites, about black bears and stuff like that. All right, so let's go with our video now. Most likely you started hunting. Some of you have your dad or your mom that's giving you their opinion on ammunition and what to pick and what to buy. So you can get some tips from me too if you want. And we have the ones that I'm more interested in, that they don't really have anybody to show them what gun to buy and why, and explain bullets to them. So let's go now. I have a little selection of ammunition over here, and I'm picking this angle here for now. I'm gonna show the ammunition this way. It all depends what kind of frame person you are. Like, are you a bigger person, like you have some weight on you, or you you are on a smaller frame type of person? So I'm gonna go through the most popular ammunition that you can find where I live, and most likely you can find for yourself. So starting on this side, we have a 22 bullet. Now, this is a 22 little bullet. And why we're showing this bullet, Pano? This bullet is not for deer hunting. It's not for deer hunting, I know. But I worked part-time to an outdoor store, and we sold guns. So I had a lot of old timers coming there telling me, do you know that you can kill a deer with a 22 bullet? And we killed lots back in the day. And this is why I'm showing you this. This is what they're talking about when they say we killed with a 22 deer and moose. Okay, this little gun, this little bullet. Would this little bullet kill a deer? Yeah, it will. 22, this little bullet will kill anything tomorrow. Meaning, you shoot it today, most likely it's gonna die tomorrow. Very rare you're gonna kill it now. Okay, this not good for deer hunting whatsoever. Don't listen to old timers that they might tell you this. This is not good. You gotta be ethical hunter. Okay. And talking about ethical hunting, the reason we're going out hunting, okay, is to provide yourself with the experience, which is a nice experience hunting. You take some responsibility to providing for yourself. So you're going out getting your own meat. I have videos how you're gonna process your own deer, and cooking recipes. It's on your liking. You can research that too. I don't have to show everything, but you gotta be ethical hunter. Ideally, what you want is to save the biggest amount of meat on the animal you're hunting, meaning you gotta pick the right cartridge for yourself. This is the biggest point, that you're not gonna stress the animal, okay? You're not gonna hurt it to a point that yeah, eventually it's gonna die, but you want it to be as smooth, to go down the whole experience as smooth as possible. You want to shoot the animal and you want to kill it as quick as possible. You want to go to the animal, be respectful, meaning I know most people are excited, oh yeah, we kill it, but don't forget, you got to be respectful to the animal, okay? That brings you luck to your next hunt. If you believe in luck, or if you're religious, whatever you want to be, or if you just want to be a respectful person, you're not religious, or you're not, you don't believe in anything, you gotta believe in treating it like how you would want to be treated in that situation. Meaning, okay, yeah, we put down the deer, now let's be respectful, let's put it out. If it's not out, finish it as quick as possible with respect. Again, I'm going to mention it, and handle it with care. Skin it, save the hide, especially on your first deer. Try your hardest, save the hides, gut it using the organs like how I show in videos. Don't throw away the organs, learn to eat them. If you don't eat them, maybe one of your buddies will, or whatever. Leave some behind. You always got to leave some behind. And when you take that deer home, which most of the times for me, take it home. Don't try and do it in the field. It's not that big of an animal that you can carry to your home and do it properly. Use as much as you can. If you have pets, save the bones. It's a good game for them. It's a nice toy. You leave them the bones they can play with. I know we're getting far. We haven't even talked about ammo, but this is important steps and stuff that has to do with your hunting. What gun and bullet, it's also important, but the ethical part of the hunting is also very important. So watch what I think is the best shot to take a deer down. Watch this little segment. And I'll be right back. What I'm trying to save. First thing, let me put the dog down. Ranger, sit. Ranger, sit. 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 Good boy. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna use the dog because he's a four-legged animal, just like a deer. And so when you have the deer standing, your ideal shot, it's on the side here. Right here in this area, because this is where the lungs are. And you see, same thing with the deer. He can, as the deer runs, the shoulder moves and he could block your ideal shot, but you need the deer standing this way, right? And you want to aim in this area right here. Now, when your bullet gets obstructed by sticks and stuff, it could flick on the lower caliber bullets, and you can have a gut shot, which the animal can go for hours. Or you can go a front shot, which if you have a strong enough bullet, it will go through the shoulder blade, which is right up here. You have to go through this bone, has to penetrate this shoulder, but it also has to penetrate the other shoulder. You need to penetrate both shoulders to have a clean kill. And you also have the muscle that's gonna tighten. As soon as it feels the puncture from the bullet, muscle's gonna tighten. The instinct on the animal is to move up or tense. So that right away reduces your velocity and the power on the bullet. So ideally, you need to shoot in this area because there's no protection. You need to avoid the shoulder, most likely, in case you're far, especially if you're far distance and your animal is calm. This is where you want to aim. Now, you want to shoot on the fly and this and that. It's not really ethical. So, number one choice here. Second choice, if you're up to 100 yards and you're pretty good shot and you're confident, you want to aim on the head area right here. Now on the deer, you're going to have the antlers, and on this area right here is where you're going to drop your deer. If you shoot your deer here, if you shoot your deer on the snout, if you shoot your deer on the neck, unless you hit the spine, you're not going to drop kill it. Okay, it can still go away, it can still bleed, unless you get to the vital area, right to the neck here. And then you're going to have a lot of blood loss, but it still is going to go 60, 70, 80 yards. Third choice, my third choice is here by the shoulder, because you have the heart of the animals are right here. And like I said, I mentioned, you need a strong caliber, penetrating bullet to go through both shoulders, because the lungs need to take air and collapse. You can't collapse the lungs with one shot, with one penetrating shot. So if you go on the shoulder, the bullet is going to end up maybe underneath the armpit. We've seen it many times with Alexis skinny deer and cutting and lots. That's after, what I'm telling you, it's after a lot of deer, a lot of game process. Every animal I had dropped within one step is here, because this is the lung area. Here they might go 50 yards, 60 yards, 100 yards, depending on how strong the animal, depending on the angle you are, because sometimes the animal's a little bit on the angle, so you go here and you exit here. Still a kill shot, but you're gonna look for it. So we get back to the calibers. I got more to talk to you about. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video as much as Ranger did. The German Shepherd is, well, I'm planning to make a video and talking about all my dogs. So that was Ranger, and he's a German Shepherd. As you can tell, he's purebred, cost me a lot of money to get him. And I'm gonna do a review on the dogs and talk to you about each one of them, where I bought them to. So anyway, now, after we eliminated this bullet, no matter what the old timers say, this is not for deer, okay? Now we're moving. It's also in most regulations, you cannot, you got to read your hunting regulations. We're going to the rest of the ammunition. And since most likely we're talking to a new hunter, I always recommend a lower recoil bullet, okay? So you see, this is a 243. This is a 243 caliber bullet, okay? And this is a 7mm or 8 caliber bullet. And this one is a 308 caliber bullet. So 243, 7mm or 8, 308. So these three bullets have very low recoil. These three calibers. So if you're a beginner female or a smaller framed male, I recommend you start with this rifle. And as you get the 243 and as you get experienced, you can also use your 243 for your predator hunting, meaning wolves, coyotes. This is ideal for these animals, okay? Now, if you use this caliber, 243, for your deer hunting, you need to get the 100 grain bullet, okay? 100 grain bullet for deer hunting. Not the 80, the 100 grain bullet. I'm gonna open my notebook here and give you some numbers, which this video is not gonna be about numbers. There's tons of videos talking about numbers, making your head numb. I'm just gonna briefly go and tell you, okay, that this is 2,900 plus foot-pounds FPS, okay, meaning the speed of the bullet, which is very fast bullet, and that's with 80 grain. So now when we're going with 100 grain, you're losing some speed, but it still has plenty penetration. Using the shot on the previous video, on the little segment I had with Ranger. Ranger was showing it. So I was showing my Ranger was the was the pretended to be deer. Okay, so 243. We're starting now. 100 grain bullet. Any brand you want. Some good brands is Hornady. I like Hornady. And whatever else you find, but try and get a good bullet. Nosler Partitioner is very good bullet. So, first gun, 243, new Hunter, you should buy this. And it's not gonna go to waste. You won't have to trade it because you can use it for, like I said, your other game. Hogs, if you're in the States, for beginner, headshots, you're gonna be good. It's got no recoil. It's got about 8 pounds of recoil, this bullet right here. Now, again, you're a female, small frame guy, very good choice. Now you're going to 7mm or 8, okay? So now we can go to a bigger grain bullet, meaning we can have a heavier bullet. What do we achieve when we have a heavier bullet? The prawns. So benefits of the heavier bullet is if we hit a twig, it's not gonna really veer off our bullet, which with this one it will more than this one. Two, you have a bigger hole entrance wound because they're both gonna expand on the exit wound if you take the shot I show you. But on the entrance, this is gonna have a smaller hole than this one. Not only that, this has way more bullet, way more lead that's gonna mushroom, and the exit hole will be big, and it's gonna really bleed the animal, and it's really gonna kill it, and it's gonna collapse the lungs, which that's what we need. We need to collapse both lungs. And if this bullet hits bone, it's still gonna go through. So 7mm 140 grains, we still at 2860 FPS. And we're about 8 pounds of recoil. So we're about 6 with this one, depending on the ammunition. We're about 8, so we got a little bit more recoil on this one. And you can just leave it to this. Because you can take your black bear for a female, you can just stay with those two bullets, and it's good enough for everything. The only downfall with this one is not that available as this one. So the 7mm 08 is not as available as the 243, but it's pretty popular. It's getting popular. More and more, I see a lot of people recommend it, and a lot of people start with it. Okay, so all these 3 bullets now, we're going to the 308. All these 3 cases, all these 3 bullets have the same case, the 308 case, identical. But the 308 has a bigger, more lead. It's a 308 diameter actual bullet. 308, it's more than the 7mm. This is 7mm bullet. The 7mm bullet is the same bullet with the 7mm 08 is the same bullet exactly with the 7mm Magnum cartridge back here. It's the same bullet. Okay? It's exactly the same bullet. But this one has bigger case, which means it's got a Magnum case, which means it's wide. See how much wider? And it's taller, so it takes more powder. So the more powder you have now, you got more explosion, and it shoots that bullet faster and in longer distance. Okay. Same bullet, Exactly. This is not for a beginner. 7mm Magnum is not for a beginner. So we're gonna rule this one out. When you get more experience and you wanna take longer shots, and you're okay with the recoil, because the recoil on this, which on this gun, you're gonna get 163 grain bullet. Your kill zone, your maximum kill efficiency is about 400 to 500 yards. Okay, that's where it's gonna go right clean, right through a deer, elk, anything, up moose, black bears. It's the ideal for me case for black bears. 7mm Magnum. Because it's small enough bullet. It's not gonna ruin my pelt. It's not gonna ruin my meat. And it's gonna fit, like it's gonna put the lights out on a bear. But the downfall is, now the bigger case we're going and the bigger bullet, okay, we're getting a bigger barrel, heavier gun. So now with the 243, we have a nice light gun, easy to carry. 7mm 08 was still pretty light gun, but when we start getting to the 308, now our gun barrel is starting to get heavier, so it's a heavier gun. So it's a heavier gun, but it's a very nice ammunition for deer. And it's a thick enough bullet, 308, which 308 is the same bullet exactly with the 30-06 and the 300 Magnum. Okay, all three have a 308 bullet. So now 308, very good bullet. 30mm bullet. You need to have 150 grain ammunition for it, powder, like 150 grain. We have 3,000 FPS with it. We got a little bit more recoil than our 7mm 08, but our 7mm 8 has more range because our bullet is lighter with the same case. Okay, you can only fit same amount of powder in the same case. 243, 7mm 08, and 308. No matter what you do, you can have the same powder in it. So on this case, the ideal bullet to carry is 150 grain. When I have my 7mm 08, I can go with 130, 140 grain bullet, which is very good for it. But because this is wider now, remember, you want to use 150 grain, and that's your ideal cartridge on the 308 for deer. You're not going to waste the meat. You have pretty good distance. You can take some grass and some light sticks going through the bush, and it's going to kill you a deer every single time with a low recoil. Okay. Now, if you can take a little bit more recoil than these, you're going with the 270. Okay. 270 has the same case with my 30-06. Same case, a little bit longer neck. You got a little bit longer neck here, the neck, than the 30-06, but I have a very slim bullet, almost 28mm diameter. So now we have 30 here. Here we got 28. Yeah, so 280 to 30, almost 280, 277.8. So 280, let's say, to 30.8. And smaller bullet, less recoil, same powder. This is a super cartridge. This compares to the two Magnums in distance. A little bit smaller, 280, 277. Smaller bullet, but I have same distance with less kick, less recoil. The 300, it's not a deer cartridge. It's way too strong for deer. 7mm, it's almost too strong for deer unless you're really shooting far. So depends where you are, your location. I don't recommend these two bullets for deer. If any of them, 7mm. The 300 is ideal cartridge for elk, black bear, that you want to just put the lights out, moose, not for deer, not so much for deer. You're wasting a lot of meat with this cartridge. 270, it's slim, it's fast, and it's strong. With one downfall, it's a little bit thin. When you hit branches and sticks, it's gonna veer off your bullet and you're gonna make it off target. It's not so great with the wind. It's okay, but it's long distance. You can kill a deer efficiently with the 270, easy at 350 yards with minimum drop on your target. Okay, all these 308 has a lot of target drop because it can only fit certain amount of powder. 7mm 08, same on the 08, but smaller bullet, I get more distance. But with 270, I have more distance than every other one. Every other one, I have way more distance. Hope you're understanding. I'm trying to be as simple as I can with the terminology and what numbers I'm giving you and this and that. So more recoil, ideal for long distance. I killed bears. The last bear I've killed, the black bear, it was with the 270. He went right through. He took one step and died. Perfect. Now, we're going to the 7mm. We talked about it briefly. Moose, elk, black bear. Not so much damage. 300. It's good for moose, elk, long distance. That's a long distance cartridge. But I got 31 pounds of recoil on this, on the 300. It has the most recoil than all of them, except this. It's got the most recoil than all of the ammunition we're talking about. And now we're going to the 30-06, which is the most favorite one in Canada, especially because you got a bigger variety of, you got the biggest variety of ammunition available to you. Okay, so 30-06, ideal for deer, again, is the same with the 308. 150 grain. Anything more than that, you're ruining lots of meat. 150 is very nice. 140, even better. 7mm 08. But those, the ideal for those two cartridges is 150 for deer. 30-06, it's got a lot of kick. Okay, if I'm gonna put them according to the kick that these bullets have, I'm gonna go like this. Almost the same with 7mm Magnum. So the 7mm Magnum, we have 23 pounds of recoil. The 30-06, we have 20 pounds of recoil. So this got a little bit more, but this is now far behind, which this is so much less. And the 270 is about 18. So it's right here. So this is how the recoil goes on these. Actually, this has more, the 308 has more recoil than the 270. Okay, hope you're following me. Now we're getting to another nice cartridge. If you see how we keep mentioning if it hits sticks or if it hits branches. So now we're going to another cartridge depending of where you're hunting. Now you're hunting in a lot of brush or you're hunting from a tree stand. You don't need to use any of the other ones. But let's say though, you can afford more than one gun. So if you're gonna buy one gun and you're gonna hunt off a tree stand or in the woods, in the brush, you best caliber for you to get is 30-30. 30-30 has enough density to go through sticks and branches. Okay, not as good as this one, but that's how it's gonna look like, a bit smaller. That's a 45-70. Okay, I'd use this for everything you could imagine. I've killed with a 45-70. Killed bears, I've killed deer, I've killed grouse, headshot, rabbits, headshot. Because this, I take it in the woods. If I see something, I'm gonna shoot it that I can eat and use. But I don't wanna waste it, so you're going for headshot. This, for me, 45-70, unless you're good with your gun and you spend a lot of time shooting like I did, don't get a 45-70 for hunting. It's good for bear protection, but not for hunting. Now, the downfall with a 30-30, you don't have range. You got maximum 200 yards. As a new hunter, 200 yards is pretty good. You're not gonna take any shots more than that. So, you're hunting in the woods, in the bush, 30-30, ideal deer cartridge or short range. Moose, bear, anything, as long as it's near you. Up to 200 yards max. Now, you want to have a scope and this and that and, you know, play the big boy game like your dad was doing and this and that. Then you're going to 243, which you have plenty of distance. You can shoot at 300 yards. You have the 7mm 08, which you can push to 370, 360, or 308, which ideal distance, killing distance, clean kill distance on the deer on the 308 is 250 to 75. Okay, you want to put more range now. Further, you got another 80 yards on the 30-06, but a lot of recoil. Now you want more distance far away, you're going to 270. You want to go even further and more efficient kills, you're going to the Magnum cartridges for bigger game. Because 270 would kill anything far, but not so great for big game. It's been done, I know. It killed more things than any other cartridge, 270. It's becoming my favorite. But to be an ethical hunter and not looking for your animals, you up your bullets, okay? 300, it's gonna take a moose at 350 yards, lights out. 7mm, same thing. 300 does it better. 7mm will do it, not as great as this one. So moose, if you're a moose hunter, if you're gonna become a moose hunter, 300, not for deer. 7mm, it's not bad for deer. You're not gonna waste a lot of meat with the shot I show, but still, it's a little bit of waste. A lot of gun to carry around, and it's heavy. It's long barrel, expensive ammo. This is why I prefer 270 for the more experienced hunter. Now, we're not going to Creedmoor and 2506 because I'm not getting there because we can't really find them. To 280, we can't really find ammo. Whatever I'm showing you here, I can go get any day of the week. I go there, it's available for me, for my area. Hope you guys got something. Hope you got understand the ethical part of it. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.